Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Gonna do a little bit different video today than I have been doing, but this is still relevant, especially for cycling, active outdoor lifestyle. If you enjoy listening to music or podcasts or things like that, I'm doing a review of the PowerBeats Pro, which I found to be a huge benefit for some of the rides I do, as far as compared to using wired headphones, which usually just don't stay in your ears very good, and plus you have the the wire in your way. And even using AirPods, I found these to be much more reliable. Hey guys, just want to give you a real quick close-up look at the PowerBeats Pro, just for a size comparison. Here they are compared to the AirPods 2 case, literally about twice the size and twice the weight. They both have a very similar lightning port for charging. And just to show you the inside here, that is what they look like. They do adhere magnetically into the case, so they won't just fall out. Just to show you the device up close, the headset. This here is the button that you push in order to toggle through your tracks forward and backwards. And these actually have a volume toggle, which is a nice feature that the AirPods 1, 2, and even the AirPods Pro do not have. So that's really nice to have too, because you don't have to access your phone or anything if you want to adjust the volume. But that is them. That's the air hook. It is actually pretty pliable, so it's not hard. It doesn't cut into you, so it's actually really comfortable. And same for the actual rubberized tip. It is very soft. It's not a major aggressive seal that you're putting in your ear canal. So that is the PowerBeats Pro up close. Hey guys, I just want to give you a real quick tip on how to put these in your ear, because the first couple times I used them, I wasn't really sure how to do it, and I was having to use like two hands to get it in, and I was pulling the ear hook up and over, and it just didn't really seem like a real reliable way to do it long term. What I did find is I just grab them and I put it in my ear and just twist, and it is in. And it gives you an immediate chime when it recognizes it's in your ear canal. It'll give you a chime, that way you know, but it is in there. And same thing with removal. You just grab it and it's twisted out. That way you're not having to pull it off your ear or risk over long term damaging the hook or anything like that. Easiest way is to twist it in, twist it out. So now that you've seen how to get them in and out quickly, one thing I will point out is I usually do wear eyeglasses, and certainly when I'm riding my bike I always have sunglasses on. One thing I found is I always take my glasses off, put these in, and then I put my glasses on, and I actually slide my glasses just inside the ear hooks on both sides, and everything is comfortable, everything is secure, and that's what works best for me. So that'd be my recommendation if you do wear glasses when you're wearing these, is do it that way. So the PowerBeats Pro, they list for $249.95, but ever since the AirPods Pro came out a couple months ago, I've seen these regularly, if not continuously, for $199.95, which is what I paid for these, and that is brand new on Amazon. I will post links down below. They come in 4 colors, black, white, blue, and the color I got, which is called moss green. And I got the moss green because my iPhone 11 Pro Max is in the midnight green, and I have a case on it, an outer box case on it, that has some OD green and some other hues of green in the case, and I just thought they were a good mix for it. I'm definitely more of an earth tone guy anyway, so that is the color I went with. So again, I mentioned I already did own the AirPods 2. These were my first wireless headphones. They've been great. The reason I decided to go with wireless headphones was, for going to the gym and riding my bike, I was using the Apple wired headphones, which have always sounded good to me and worked well for me. They've always stayed in my ears really well. But when I went to the AirPods, they were even better. One of the issues I would have at the gym when I'm, doing exercises and whatnot is the wire, you tug it, or if it catches your collar or something, it would jostle it loose. It was a continual issue with that. However, when it came to doing things like riding my bike, I was never really comfortable, even though AirPods do fit in my ears well. I'm one of the people that is lucky on that front. I was always worried that still might lose one. Always felt like they probably weren't the best solution for me for riding my bike, which is why I've been watching the PowerBeats Pro when they were released. I was immediately interested in them because they have the air hook. and that would keep them in place no matter what. One of the concerns I did have about them though is because they are the in-ear design, they have kind of the soft rubber tip, and I know that goes in your ear canal, whereas AirPods, you know, just set in your ear. They don't go inside. These do, but it is subtle, and it was a big concern for me because I actually bought a set of Apple branded headphones years ago that had a similar tip, and unfortunately they just didn't work for me. Even though they came with different tip sizes and whatnot, for them to stay in my ear I had to jam them in pretty firmly, and then you would get that constant pressure, feeling a constant pressure in your ear, which I didn't like. And it would almost, when you had them both in, it was kind of, you felt like you were underwater because your ears were literally plugged. But if you didn't jam them in, they just would not stay in. They would just kind of jostle around and they just wouldn't work. I was really concerned about that with these. But after researching it, I decided to give it a go. And because it did have the ear hook, I was hopeful that even though it would be in my ear to some degree, that they wouldn't have to be jammed in and pressed in firmly due to the ear hook. And fortunately, that is the case. So yes, they do go in your ear. There's a slight amount of sensation or pressure, but for someone that doesn't like that sensation, it doesn't bother me at all. And literally after seconds of putting them in, I don't really even notice that they're there. So it was not a concern, or it was a concern, but it ended up not being proven to be the reality of the situation. They do give you a little bit of what I would call passive noise cancellation because they are in your ear, but it's not to the extent of like the new AirPods Pro. They do go in your ear, so you get a passive cancellation effect, and they have active, which is an actual electronic canceling of surrounding noise. These do not have that, but they do give, I would say, a subtle passive noise cancellation, which is helpful if that is something you're interested in. So again, the ear hooks are the key to the effectiveness of these things. Like I said, AirPods work great for me. One of the benefits of AirPods, or there's a couple really, they're extremely easy to put in and out. You just literally pop them in, take them out, which is extremely convenient. These take a little more effort, but they're not really that bad for putting them in and out. But AirPods, for my job, I'm on my phone throughout the day, and I can actually leave my AirPods in continuously for hours at a time and not really even notice that they're there. These, even though they are not uncomfortable to wear, I can wear them for 90 minutes, 2 hours without any issue. But after about that point, I do start to notice that they're there. I do feel a little pressure, inside my ear and around the ear hook. But again, that's, after a good couple hours. And it's not an issue, certainly not pain or anything like that. It's just that, I know that they're there. So they don't have the comfort as far as the seamless comfort that the AirPods do. But for what they are doing and the fact that they don't move at all when you're riding and it's gym and, being active, even, running on a treadmill, things like that, they stay exactly where you put them, and, never have any issues with them. One thing I will point out with the PowerBeats Pro, if you're not already aware, is Apple did buy PowerBeats a few years ago. On the upside to that is that they have basically the same technology involved. They have the H1 chip in both the AirPods and the PowerBeats. So there's the exact same pairing process. When you open up the case, you'll get the notification on your phone, and they automatically pair and work great. They've been amazing as far as pairing and reliability and whatnot. So it's one of the benefits to them as far as Apple owning PowerBeats is that pairing process and reliability and stability. It's as good as anything else they have on the AirPods side. So I did want to briefly cover some pros and cons to the PowerBeats Pro, especially comparing and contrasting them with the AirPods. They definitely sound better. They have a richer sound, a fuller sound, definitely more bass, which I prefer, but they definitely have a better sound than the AirPods too. I can't really compare them to the AirPods Pro, which have been out for a couple months. I haven't tried those myself yet, but I'm definitely very happy with the sound quality of the PowerBeats Pro. Another pro is the battery life. So AirPods 2, the battery life is about 5.5 hours just on the AirPods. And the PowerBeats Pro, you get a full 9 hours on just the units themselves. Both cases give you a 24-hour charge battery life, so you can that many cycles. Even though the case is much bigger, it's giving you 24 hours on a 9-hour charge, so that kind of explains that. So the battery life on the PowerBeats Pro is amazing and has been a huge benefit as well. And then, as I've already kind of covered with the passive noise cancellation, just because, like I said, they go in ear and do have the rubberized tip, that is a benefit. Some people may value that more or less. One thing I do want to emphasize is I never wear headphones of any kind on the road. And if I'm on any kind of single track trails or really busy trails, things like that, I never wear headphones of any kind. I always want to remain fully alert in road riding or heavy trail use areas or single track. I do wear these for things like gravel grinding or dirt road riding, things like that, where there's low traffic, plenty of room for people to pass, things like that. And again, you can hear well enough. You can always hear a car coming up from behind you, or if somebody is coming up from behind you and does give you a shout out, you can still hear it. But I just want to emphasize those things. You do need to be careful using headphones of any kind, in my opinion, for certain types of riding. So for the cons, really just a few things, but as I already kind of touched on, putting them in, even though it's pretty quick and easy, it's still not as easy or convenient as AirPods are. So again, for like when I'm working and just taking phone calls and making phone calls and things like that, I always have AirPods in for that. I never use these for work. Same thing as if I'm gonna watch a quick YouTube video or something on my phone, I will grab my AirPods and just pop them in, just again for convenience. I really only use the PowerBeats for activities. So again, the gym, riding my bike, or situations where I care about having a little more isolation, or like I said, like if I'm traveling and on a plane, I want that security of the fit. Those are situations where I would do that. Probably the biggest con is portability, the size of the case. So again, you can see that there's a huge difference in the size of these two cases. These I will pop in my pocket all the time, and again, they don't even really notice they're there, so they're great for portability. This I will never put in my pocket, or rarely I should say. Usually when I get to the trailhead, I will put these in my ears and leave the case in my car. That's probably the biggest negative, is the size of the case. But again, considering the battery life you're getting out of these, that's the trade-off, and I'm happy to have both options, really. And another con, some people may care about it, I didn't really care about it, is there is no wireless option to the charging case. AirPods 2 do have a wireless option, so do the AirPods Pro, but I didn't get it. So I have the wired version only anyways, so to me there's no difference. But if you care about having a wireless option, AirPods 2 or AirPods Pro would be the case for you. So in wrapping up, I would absolutely recommend them. If you're an active person, whether it's the gym, if you're a runner, cyclist, if you're hiking, any of those types of things, anything where you want things to stay in your ear, stay in place, not be jostled loose, and not have to worry about them being jostled loose, I would highly recommend PowerBeats Pro if you have an Apple phone. And they work via Bluetooth too, so even if you don't have Apple products, they will still work and work well. It's just that you don't get quite that integration, that seamless integration that you get with an Apple product. But they do definitely sound great and work great, and I'd recommend them to anybody who's interested. Okay guys, that wraps up this video. If you found it helpful, please like the video, and if you're interested in more tech-related content, please subscribe. This is not a tech-focused channel, but I do use and enjoy various types of tech, especially when it comes to cycling and the outdoors and whatnot. So I will be doing some more tech-related items that are related to my lifestyle on that front. So if you're interested in seeing more of that, let me know in the comments below, and please subscribe and hit that bell notification if you want to be notified at any time I post a new video. And thanks, and have a great day.